Who was Prince Alemayehu, and why does Buckingham Palace refuse to return his body? Prince Alemayehu was a member of the royal family of Abyssinia, which is now known as Ethiopia. He was born in 1861, the son of Emperor Tewodros II, who ruled over a large and powerful kingdom in East Africa. In 1868, when Alemayehu was only 7 years old, his life changed dramatically after a British military expedition invaded his country and attacked his father's fortress at Magdala. The British were seeking to rescue some European hostages that Tewodros had taken in an attempt to get a response from Queen Victoria, whom he wanted to ally with against his enemies. The British assault was devastating, killing thousands of Abyssinians and looting thousands of cultural and religious artifacts. Tewodros committed suicide rather than surrender, and his wife died soon after. Alemayehu was captured by the British and taken to England, along with his older sister and some other relatives. In England, Alemayehu became an object of curiosity and sympathy for the public and the press, who called him the Stolen Prince. Queen Victoria herself took an interest in him and arranged for his education and welfare. She also tried to find a suitable home for him, but none of the options were satisfactory. Alemayehu was unhappy and lonely in England, longing for his homeland and his people. He suffered from poor health and depression, and died of pleurisy in 1879 at the age of 18. He was buried in the catacombs of St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, where many members of the British royal family are also interred. Ever since his death, there have been calls from Ethiopia and from his descendants to return his remains to his native land, where he could be honored as a hero and a martyr. They argue that Alemayehu was a victim of colonialism and that he deserves to rest in peace among his ancestors. However, Buckingham Palace has refused to grant this request, citing practical and ethical difficulties. The palace says that it is very unlikely that it would be possible to exhume Alemayehu's remains without disturbing the resting place of many others in the vicinity, and that they have a responsibility to preserve the dignity of the departed. The palace also says that they are sensitive to the need to honor Alemayehu's memory, and that they have accommodated requests from Ethiopian delegations to visit his grave. The case of Prince Alemayehu is one of the many unresolved issues that stem from Britain's colonial past and its impact on other cultures and peoples. It raises questions about historical justice, cultural heritage, and human dignity. It also reflects the complex and often contradictory relationship between Britain and Ethiopia, which have been allies and enemies at different times. The story of Prince Alemayehu is a tragic one, but also a fascinating one that deserves to be told and remembered.